So Mike LaFleur has been fired as Jets offensive coordinator. Now, whether it was a mutual parting or whether it was an outright firing, it doesn't really matter. It's all logistics. The bottom line is next season, the New York Jets will have a new offensive coordinator. Now, I have come on here and made the point that I didn't think it was a good idea to fire Mike LaFleur at this point, not until he had a chance to work with a somewhat competent quarterback. There's certainly things you could criticize him on, but I didn't feel it was wise to fire him after 2 years. Well, he's already gone, and whatever opportunities he pursues, it should be fascinating. Hey, maybe he'll become a new play caller for Bill Belichick and lead the Patriots back to glory. That would just stand to reason for Jets fans, wouldn't it? But I want to ask the Mike LaFleur critics a very poignant question. And I want you to take a moment and really think about this. Is Zach Wilson a better quarterback right now than he was this morning because Mike LaFleur is gone? Is Zach Wilson better? I'm not even going to talk about the offense, but there are people that I've seen who have criticized LaFleur for his lack of development. And to me, that is more on Rob Calabrese, the quarterback's coach. Mike LaFleur's job is not necessarily to get involved with footwork, with throwing angle, with motion, and all that kind of stuff. He has to worry about the whole offense, not just the quarterback. He has to put players in a position to succeed, and I think he did a more than fair job of doing that. There were so many times there were receivers running wide open down the field, and time after time, no matter who was quarterback, whoever was the signal caller for the Jets could not do the job. There were so many open receivers missed. Gary Wilson could have had 1,300 or 1,400 yards if he had had a somewhat competent quarterback to work with. It is truly unbelievable. Now, I'll criticize LaFleur for some of his play calling. He can be very scheme stubborn. There is not an offensive coordinator in football that you couldn't criticize that for if you want to get granular with it. I didn't like empty packages on the goal line. I don't know why it took so long to put Garrett Wilson on the outside and Elijah Moore in the slot, but eventually he did figure it out. But when you lose Breece Hall, when you lose Elijah Vera Tucker, that shut the offense down. This is a run-first offense. That's what it was always intended to be. And once your two best offensive players went down, there was no coming back from that. And I don't understand why that's so difficult for the Mike LaFleur critics to understand. Now, this might work out for the best. It very well could. Maybe the Jets are going to go out there and get a great offensive coordinator. Maybe they'll get this generation's Norv Turner or Don Coryell or you name the guy, or Vince Lombardi, you name the guy. Whatever great offensive coordinator in football history you want to name. But here's my other question. What offensive coordinator wants this job? Or a potential offensive coordinator would want this job who's actually good? I'm not interested in another first-year OC. What's the point in doing that? Mike LaFleur was growing on the job. If you're going to bring in a first-year offensive coordinator, then to me, this firing looks even that much more stupid. But if they bring in a veteran who is confident enough that he could turn Zach Wilson around, because now that LaFleur is out, this gives me a much stronger sense Zach Wilson will figure into this team's quarterback plans for 2023. I said either LaFleur or Wilson, it was not a compatible marriage. Well, LaFleur got the axe. That tells me they're going with Zach Wilson one way or another as either the 1 or 2 quarterback. But what offensive coordinator wants to come to a team where there is going to be a playoff mandate next year? If they don't make the playoffs next year, the Jets, Robert Saleh is going to be out, Jeff Ulbricht's going to be out, and Joe Douglas is going to be in a heck of a lot of trouble. Plus, you're working with Zach Wilson. Your quarterback is questionable, and that's being kind about it. What proven offensive coordinator, what great offensive coordinator who's going to be in demand is going to want that job? I can't think of who that would be. You could have dream guys. You could have, Frank Reich or Gary Kubiak, or, if Mike McDaniel actually gets fired, you could fantasize about that if you want. But to me, I'm going to reserve my judgment until I see who the replacement is. But I'll tell you what, it better be a veteran, it better be somebody who's proven, and it better be somebody who has a history of being really good with quarterbacks, and I don't mean Adam Gase when I say that. So I'm not thrilled with this decision, but I'm interested in hearing your thoughts, particularly the critics of Mike LaFleur. Who is your replacement? That's what I really want to know. A realistic replacement that would make sense for this particular New York Jets team. Love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment. I'll see you back here once I'm back in the wicker chair. Take care, guys.